Hello and welcome to the gamer scene, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host Connor, and after a little while of battling with PC issues, internet issues, and basically everything you can think of, I am back making videos, and hopefully soon, once I have my new gaming PC online, I shall be making gameplay videos. But for now, I think I'm going to be doing my weekly series, as well as hopefully a few other things. So let's get back on board with my videos with the game releases of the week, as it's a bit of Monday. So let's kick off with Monday, what's released today. And first off, we have Guns of Icarus Online for PC. This is a team-based game where each team has an airship, and basically each player is tasked with controlling different elements, such as repairing the ship, steering the ship, shooting the guns, and other sort of tasks. And basically, the teams on the ships have to work together to destroy the enemy ships. It's basically sort of deathmatch sort of zone, and it's a very sort of cooperation-based game set in a steampunk sort of airship world, which is really quite fun. It has a lot of potential in it, so make sure you take a look at that if you can. Trust me, it'll be worth a look. Anyway, that's all for Monday. So heading on to Tuesday, we have Assassin's Creed 3 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, which is all for now. PC comes later. This is the third in the Assassin's Creed series, highly successful series, and if you don't know it, you've been in the cave for a little while. So as everyone knows it, we'll move on to the next one. That's Need for Speed Most Wanted, coming out for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PC, and PS Vita, which is basically like Need for Speed, except they've took a kind of leaf out of Burnout Paradise's book, Start and End Point, but you can take any route along the way as you like, and it looks like a really fantastic driving game, so check it out. Next up, we have WWE 13 for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and the Nintendo Wii, the annual wrestling game. If you like your wrestling, that's for you. Next up, Zone of Enders HD collection for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. This is the HD version of the 2001 released game, so if you played that game and you want to have a HD version of it, that is something you will want to look at. We also have Clan of Champions for PC, which is a single and multiplayer action fighting game, and it's basically an English remake of the Japanese game Gladiator Versus. So if you want to find out more of that, check out Gladiator Versus, and you'll probably see it. It's very difficult to find information on Clan of Champions, but maybe Gladiator Versus has more info for you. Also, we have Marvel Avengers Battle for Earth coming on Xbox 360, a bit of Marvel Avengers action. Nike Plus Connect Training, also on Xbox 360. Sports Champions 2 for PlayStation 3, which is a sequel to Sports Champions, basically a PlayStation Move-based game, but this time they've added golf, boxing, bowling, skiing, and tennis. So some great sports in there. Make sure you take a look if you want a bit of active game break. Next up, we have Toy Story Mania for PlayStation 3 and Xbox. Okami HD for PlayStation 3, which is basically a HD remastering of the 2006 Okami game for PlayStation 2. So if you like that, you can get it in HD as well. And finally, Darksiders 2 Abyssal Forge for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC. A bit of DLC. Now we're moving on to a bit of the handheld world, and we have Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, also out on Tuesday for the PS Vita, which basically follows Aveline in America, and you do cross paths with the Assassin's Creed 3 game, which is fantastic to see, kind of weaving it in there as opposed to being two separate universes. Also on handhelds, we have Transformers Prime the game for 3DS, DS, and the Wii. Wreck-It Ralph comes out on 3DS, DS, and the Wii, so that looks good. It's a game based on the film where basically Ralph is the bad guy of one of the games, and he doesn't want to be the bad guy anymore, so he sets out to change it. Very interesting concept of a game being a game. You want to change a game in a game. Trust me, it's a bit like Inception, but worse. I can't explain it. I really can't. I will get confused. Anyway, next up, Ragnarok Odyssey for PS Vita, which is an action-based RPG set in the same universe as the Ragnarok Online, which is a Korean MMO. Basically, this is set on Norse mythology, and the game consists of smacking giant monsters around, and basically, literally, and I mean literally, chucking them around the screen. So, bit of over-the-top action. Ragnarok Odyssey for your PS Vita is for you. Next up on handheld, the Trash Pack for 3DS, DS. Also, Moshi Monsters Moshling Theme Park for the DS. Bratz Fashion Boutique for the DS. Thundercats for the DS. And Winx Club for the DS. That's all for Tuesday. So we head on to Wednesday. And first up, we have Natural Selection 2. Number 2 from the sequel to the Natural Selection, set a few years after it, I believe. Basically an FPS/RTS sci-fi game, which which, as I said, is set after Natural Selection 1, which was apparently a really fantastic game. I've not heard much about it, but it has achieved some fantastic ratings, and so I definitely advise you to check it out, because what can I say? I mean, if the one was a good game and there's a sequel, it's got to be there's got to be some impressive parts to it. But it's basically set in the future with sort of an alien theme to it. So if you like that sort of game, I definitely would advise checking it out, because I think it's like a hidden gem. Really, for me, it seems like a bit of like a hidden gem. We also have Pool Nation coming out on Xbox. So if you want a bit of a pool to add to your Xbox collection, that is for you. Montas on PC, which is a horror puzzle platformer, highly atmospheric with good lighting and sound, which is on Steam Greenlight. So if you want to take a look at it and give it an upvote, head over to there to hopefully get it onto Steam. Currently, it's not, I believe, greenlit, but it could well be. So head over there and take a look. There'll be some screens and some videos of it if you want to get a bit of a preview of what it's going to be like. Also, Shadow of a Soul Chapter 1 on PC, which is a first-person survival horror. First game in a expected trilogy where you explore and solve puzzles whilst hiding from ghosts who have manifested in various forms. Bit of want to scare yourself out of your skin? Maybe Slender wasn't big enough for you? Well then try this game out. This game could scare you. I don't know from experience, but it could be the one to give you a little bit of a fright in the night. Next up, Painkiller Hell and Damnation for the PC, which is a remake of the original FPS game Painkiller. Basically they've said they want to stay as true as they possibly can to the original game, but this time adding multiplayer modes, including survival as well as team deathmatch, catch the flag, and other similar multiplayer modes. So if you really like the game, or you want to try it this time but in a bit more of a HD mode, this could be it for you. I mean, it looks pretty good, it was pretty good, so make sure you check it out. And finally on Wednesday we have 6 Second Shooter Deluxe for PS Vita. Basically, this game gives you 1 minute to destroy as much as you can of the enemy. Except that the first game was basically you destroyed as much as you can. Deluxe, this time the enemies shoot back. There is added power-ups and other interesting features galore. So make sure you take a look, because I'm sure it can give you 60 seconds of fun. And that's all for Thursday, so we move on to... No, that's all for Wednesday, sorry. So we move on to Thursday, and we have Just Cargo Commander for PC. And unfortunately, that's it for Thursday. So finally, we have Friday. We have Football Manager 2013 for PC, which is your annual Football Manager game. If you're an avid football fan like me, you might want to get this to test out your managing skills in 2 new modes, such as Challenge Mode, where you take on preset scenarios, such as battling relegation or having a really young team, as well as Classic Mode, which takes out all the little bells and whistles, and basically you choose your players, you buy and sell players, and that's it. None of the training, like none of the team talks or individual training. It's just the basics of the game to really have a streamlined gaming experience. Sounds interesting. I will be getting this to take a look at it, so you should too. Of course, that is always my motto. And finally, for this week, we have 007 Legends coming to PC, which is basically a later release of the game that is already out on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. So that's all for this week. That is all I have for you, unfortunately. There are some really great games coming out. Of course, the big ones like Assassin's Creed 3 and Need for Speed Most Wanted are gonna be good games. But I also suggest you take a look out for Guns of Icarus as well. You know, Football Manager isn't a biggie, but it certainly is a good game. Natural Selection 2, definitely take a look at, and maybe even Ragnarok Odyssey, because that could be a good fun game for UPS Vita users. They're my picks for this week, and that's all I've got to say. I mean, that's all there is for this week. So, you know, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me being back as much as I enjoy making the videos for you guys. So, you know, if you want to tell me what you're getting this week, you know, what you plan to buy, put it in the comment section below. I want to hear all of what people are planning to buy, or whether they think this is a good week, you know, whether they're waiting for a specific week. All your comments, put them in below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and that is all I will ask from you guys. So, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy it, and that'll be me, Connor, out.